So now, will this stay up for future shows and stuff? Will this stay up?
Yes.
All right. Like I
And
said,
so will, like, if there's anything that I put in here that is part of, like, the other shows, the news will, I'll put news into here so everyone has something to look at for what we're doing for the next shows. So it would just
all
be
right.
us four.
Well, us three, because you haven't talked to Christian in a while. You said
Uh,
right.
he's in here.
Well, he's not on. I don't hear him. Well, it doesn't say he's on. He's
No,
muted right now.
he's muted. I was gonna say he's on. He will be joining us in 30 seconds. And speaking of 30 seconds, we ready?
Yeah, I guess so.
Right, ready?
Yeah.
All right, in 3, 2, 1. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of the Betting Window on the Nerdport Network. I am your host, Effin Ronnie, and with me, as always,
I have returned from my exile. The Zombie Master is here. I'm not 100%, but I am here.
as well as
Captain Stuntcock.
am I on a delay?
Yeah, we'll say that.
Am I too low? What's going on? Because for some reason, it feels like there's like a 5-second delay.
What is this, TNA? 5-second delay?
No, I'm actually asking because if there's a 5-second delay, I need to fix it.
I don't know. Is there a delay?
I don't know. Y'all decided to pause during the intro, which made me think there was a delay.
Ah, fuck you.
No, the only person that's fucking is Raider Dave and Joanna, but Raider Dave has been missing for like the last 2 months.
Yeah, well, let him stay away for a while. I don't have the patience to deal with him tonight.
I mean,
Look, he apparently he went wandering out in the desert because he was all pissed off about missing fucking WrestleMania.
great John Cena match though.
Oh yeah, he couldn't see shit. And I told him that it's time to come home and to meet me in Mascoutah, Illinois this weekend. I'll pick him up after my show. And he calls me today and says that he's made it to Massachusetts.
And while we talk about Massachusetts, hello, Christian.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, speaking of Massachusetts, let's dive right on into that bullshit.
Dive on in.
Rafael Devers traded from the Boston Red Sox to the San Francisco Giants.
That's an interesting trade, I gotta say, because I'm surprised they signed him to that big extension, then they just boot him.
Well, there's other reasons, I think. I personally think, from what they were talking about, he was a cancer in the locker room, and they needed to get rid of him.
Well, they wanted him to be a DH, and he said no in no uncertain terms. So I want to play the field, and well, one thing led to another, and now he's a Giant.
And he's being a permanent DH as a Giant.
Yeah, well, we'll see how long that romance lasts before he's traded there too.
Well, no one's going to want to take a $32 million a year contract for someone who's a cancer. So it's pretty much San Francisco, or you're getting released, buddy. You're getting FDA'd.
Somebody would sign him.
Not for that price tag.
Not too many people could afford him.
I mean, I wouldn't want with that. I wouldn't want him on the Mets.
We already got one problem child, and who plays right field, but that's beside the point. A guy that I went on record on this show and said I didn't.
Hold on. Before I get into that, Christian, what is your thoughts on this trade?
What, Rafael Devers?
Yes. Besides the fact that now Garrett Cole's daddy's now in San Francisco.
Look, I ain't talked to you in how long? You already being disrespectful. Like, really?
Again, still not an ace. Max Fried is more of an ace.
I haven't talked to you in how long? And here you go, just talking that shit.
I mean, maybe talking
You
shit,
must
but
not
it's...
want your calf muscles.
Listen, it may be talking shit, but it's talking the truth.
Uh-huh. I got a gun that'll tell your ass the truth. You have no idea how happy I am that he's out the American League East because he used to kill us. Oh my God. Nah, this is a good move. I think this makes the National League a little more interesting because to me, only three teams really have stood out to me, and I'm sure John would agree with this. The three teams that have stood out to me in the National League are the Dodgers, the Cubs, and the Phillies. And I think the Giants kind of put themselves at that table as well. I think he's gonna love batting at that ballpark. I think he's gonna love. Um, I think a change of scenery was needed for him because you could tell he clearly wasn't happy in Boston. I'm just surprised the trade happened as quickly as it did. I knew he was going to get traded. It was just a matter of when, not if.
Well, Christian, not to like I said, I know I haven't been here for a while, but it's
I have
well, no, we'll talk off air. But
yeah,
anyway,
definitely.
but no, it's like Devers said in the beginning of the year. Well, no, Boston approached him in spring training and said, "Look, we want you to be a DH because we want to bring this young kid up to play whatever, I think third base or whatever it was." And Devers is like, "No, I'm a third baseman. That's what I want to. I don't want to be a DH. Blah 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 blah." And everybody thought he was going to be traded before spring training was over. Before spring training came to an end. Well, that came and went. But the package they got back, they got Kyle Harrison, reliever Jordan Hicks, outfield prospect James Tibbs III, and rookie pitcher Jose Bello. So they got a bunch of The only name I know in that group is Jordan Hicks. It's the only name I know, but everybody else is minor league. So basically, the Giants got nothing but one name and a bag of baseballs. Technically, if you really want to think about it. No disrespect to those young kids, but they're in Double A and Single A and Double A players. They're nobody that's going to break into the majors this year. But whatever. I guess the Red Sox have a better farm system than we know. But it is what it is. But
I
Ru-
think we need Dustin.
I was gonna say we'll get in contact with Dustin sooner or later about this. But Roy, what's your thoughts on this?
What on Devers?
Yeah, on Devers and the trade.
I mean, I know it upset a lot of people, but like I look at baseball as it's a business. The team that he was playing for wasn't going to give him what he wanted. He found a team that would. Good for him.
I personally think that what no one talks about is why they got what, because this wasn't a salary dump. This clearly was not a salary dump. There was something else going on that they had to get this trade done as soon as possible. Because
we have no idea what that is at this point.
Yeah, exactly. And for people, and honestly, to think that, hey, the Red Sox are just getting a bunch of nobodies, well, that's not entirely true. I mean, yeah, they keep building their farm system, but they still have really good players. And I don't think they're done. I really think they're going to make another trade.
The other player, and Ronnie, you and I talked about this the other day. The other player that's most likely out the door is going to be Chapman.
But Chapman hasn't been anything since he was with the Yankees.
But he's going to be. That would be a salary dump. That Chapman's going to be a salary dump when he does go.
Chapman's not making a lot of money, I don't think.
He's making 10. He's making 10.5 mil.
That's a lot of money.
Oh, for us it is. For them it's nothing. But for us it would be life changing. But no, it's just Chapman is the only player on that team. I mean, they're not going to get rid of Bregman because they just traded for him and they signed him to an extension. He ain't going anywhere.
They couldn't anyway because he's on the DL.
Regardless, he ain't going anywhere. They gave up the farm to get him.
Yeah.
Oh no, wait a minute. Here's a free agent. I'm sorry.
Yeah, they still paid him.
Yeah, but still, he ain't going anywhere.
No.
He's the only one that I think is basically. I mean, I can't say any player's untouchable, but with him, I don't see him going anywhere. But there's nobody else on that team. It's a bunch of rookies. That's what the and I mean and you know Garrett Crochet ain't going nowhere.
Trevor Story.
Trevor Story's he's a shell. That man's a shell. He hasn't been the same in years. He's on the tail end of his career.
The kid that they are working around is going to be Roman Anthony. That is the kid. That is the kid they are building this team around because he is the young stud in that locker room. He's the blue chipper. But we've also, but I mean, great example. Look at the Tigers last year. There was a bunch of nobodies on that team, and they made the playoffs. Not saying Boston's going to make the playoffs. I'm just saying that we can't. They could be a bunch of nobodies and surprise us.
Okay, yeah.
And I don't think they're, like I said, I don't think they're done. I think they're going to try to go out and get one more starter, and maybe and try probably get another like middle bat. Not a big bat, but a middle, like just like a bottom bat to work around Roman Anthony.
Yeah, because that team has no big bopper on it right now. The only one they had was Devers, and now he's gone. So.
Well, whenever he's healthy, Bregman is there too. When he gets back. But he's on the ILs. He's on the 10-day right now, so. Everyone's like, people have been like, oh, they're waving the white flag. I don't think they're waving the white flag. I think they're trying to catch up, but I think they're not done. I think they have a lot more in the tank than people realize. Granted,
I don't think so, and I'll tell you why. Because I think this trade of Devers, sure, everybody kept saying he was a cancer, he's this, that, and the other thing, but to take a bat of his magnitude out of that lineup, you're basically telling your fan base we're basically waving, even though you claimed they're not waving the white flag. Technically, they kind of are, because they have one of their other top star in Bregman's hurt. You only have one great pitcher in Crochet, and then a bunch of rookies.
Well, Walker Buehler too is there, and Giolito,
I said what I said, and I'm not going back on it. The team has zero identity, and I think they're in a rebuilding. They're going in a big rebuilding.
They might be rebuilding, but I'm not saying they can't. They can't make some kind of noise while they're rebuilding.
Making a noise and actually doing something about it are two different things, dude. I just don't see it.
You didn't see it about the Mets last year. And look what happened there. It's something that...
Dude, comparing the Mets and the Red Sox is like comparing apples to horse shit. It's two different teams.
Of last year? Dude, no one had fucking faith in the Mets last year.
No, but I'm saying comparing last year's Mets to this year's Red Sox, that's apples and horse shit right there. There's no
understand.
comparison.
Apples and horseshoe.
That's Raider Dave's.
Exactly.
That's Raider Dave's new album.
Drop Saturday.
But it's like
Twice.
the team. Whatever. The team the Red Sox are fielding this year is nothing like. I mean, the team they don't have, like I said, they don't have any all-stars on this team. They don't have anybody that's going to blow, other than a bunch of rookies. At least the difference between them and the Mets last year, the Mets had bona fide stars on that team. They may not have been doing well, but they had stars there. The Red Sox don't have any stars, and like I said, don't say Bregman and Trevor Story. Trevor Story, like I said, is on the opposite side of his career. Bregman's hurt. The only real all-star, if you could consider it, is Garrett Crochet. That's it. You can't have a winning franchise and a World Series dream with 3 guys, maybe. You can't. It's just not possible. Christian, back me up. Am I wrong or am I right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You know, it's like the land of misfit toys with that team. They're a bunch of mix and match veterans that are on the tail end of their career and a bunch of rookies.
Okay, then
Can
why are then? Okay,
Magic
okay, then.
happen? Look, can magic happen? Anything is possible. It's baseball. Anything can change on a dime. I get that.
Me personally, I think they need to move on from Alex Cora.
That's not a terrible statement either. I kind of see that too. But hold on. I just want to ask one thing. Okay, if they're the Island of Misfit Toys and they're that bad, why are they not as bad as the freaking Rockies?
Because the Rockies are another team that's just dead in the water because they don't even have a big star there. They traded all their big stars away. Or whoever they had, the last big name, the last real name that was with the Colorado Rockies was Charlie Blackmon, and he retired. I watched the Rockies when they played the Mets. There is nobody on that team that I recognize. And if there was a name, it's a guy that was rocking the minors for years.
You know, you want to know what's funny? Kind of to allude to what John was saying. You know, last year I saw the Yankees play the Rockies in the Bronx, and I didn't know anybody on the Rockies.
There's only I'm looking at their roster right now. There's only 2 people that I even know.
Who?
And that's
Ryan McMahon and Kyle Farmer.
Ryan McMahon, I guarantee, is going to be moved at the
Oh, he's going to get
somehow.
traded. He's going to get traded. I'm just saying, those are the only 2 names.
And you guys want to know what's funny? The Rockies ended up kicking the Yankees' ass that day.
Yeah. What
You know,
what happened
I'm
to Chris Bryant?
he went
He's
to
always
he went to
hurt.
yeah, he's with the Giants. He was with the Giants.
Because when did that trade happen? Because he was
No, he signed with the Giants.
didn't he have like a
Traded.
didn't he have
Actually,
a 10-year
you know
deal?
what?
Didn't
You
he
know
have a
what? Let me
10-year
look
deal
at-
with Colorado
No, hold on. Let me look.
during COVID?
The only
Didn't
one
he?
that signed a long-term deal with the Rockies was Arenado, and then they traded his ass. He became St. Louis's commodity after that.
Yep.
Bryant is actually, he's with the Rockies, but he's hurt.
Yeah, he's not. But here's the thing: we say that I'm literally looking at their depth chart. He's not on their depth chart. Oh, no, he is. He's the 5th. Oh God, I found him. He's the 5th person in the depth chart.
Yeah, because he's always friggin' hurt.
What's he out with?
He signed a 7-year, $182 million deal with the Rockies.
He signed right before COVID. He was part of that. Remember when everyone?
No, he signed this deal on March 18th of 2022.
Yeah,
I
wasn't
have
that?
his
I was gonna say,
Wikipedia
wasn't
page
that?
up.
Oh, sorry, the strike. He signed before the strike.
You know, but he hasn't played.
Because remember when? Remember before the strike happened when who's the asshole that was the Met that signed with the Tigers?
Max Scherzer.
No, the other asshole that was with the Mets that signed with the Tigers.
Javi Baez.
Baez. Like everyone, all them started freaking signing because they wanted to get paid before the strike started. Bryant was on that. Was part of that.
But regardless, like I said, I don't. It's like I've heard nothing mentioned of him this entire year. And when the Mets played the Rockies, they never mentioned Chris Bryant. He wasn't. He's not even in the. He wasn't even there. He's not even in the ballpark. I don't know where the hell he's at, but he's not there.
No, he's on the 60-day, and they've even said there's no timetable.
Yeah, his career might very well be done. Who knows? But
He played 11 games. He played 11 games this year.
well, he played more games than Anthony Rendon did with the fucking Angels, but that's beside the point.
But
But it's just it's ridiculous to, like I said, for you to compare the Red Sox and the Mets from last year and the Red Sox as this year.
No, get it right. I'm comparing the Red Sox to the Mets, being we don't know what the Red Sox really have because we're less than 60 games into the season.
Yeah, but here's the thing, and it's like I said earlier before, there is no boppers on that team. The team has no identity. They have two star pitchers, if that, and I count Walker Buehler very minimally. The only one that's a star in that team is fucking Garrett Crochet. He's the only star on that team.
But that's the thing. Just because there's no big bats on that team does not mean they can't win.
Look, if they win, more power to them, but I just do not see it.
Now I'll say this. The one thing that's holding the Red Sox back is the fact that they're looking up at the Blue Jays, the Orioles, the Yankees, and the Rays.
Yeah, don't get me started on those fucking Rays, man. They spanked us this weekend. They absolutely spanked the Mets. And that's why the Mets are in a slide now, is because they took, and I'm going to say this I just 2 seconds and then I'm going to shut up about it. The Mets came into that Rays series after sweeping the Nationals and the Rockies. They thought their shit didn't stink. They thought the Rays were going to be a cakewalk. And guess what? They got bitch slapped bad, and that's why they're in the funk they're in now, is because of the simple fact they got embarrassed. Plain and simple.
And what I'll say to that is that's baseball, Susan.
And now it looks like Ozzy Albies just got hit, and he's on the ground and he ain't getting up. Ooh, right on the knee. He got hit right on the kneecap. Yeah, he's coming.
But no, what I'll say to that, though, and Christian and Ryan, give your opinion on this. That's baseball. The ebb and flows of baseball. I mean, the Yankees literally got shut out, just to use an example. The Yankees got shut out 3 games in a row. They just scored the last time the Yankees, piece of trivia for you, the last time the Yankees got shut out in 4 games in a row was when? When do you think?
I wouldn't even venture a guess. Christian, you know more about that team than I do.
Do you have a guess?
No, I don't.
Ryan, do you have a guess?
No.
1916 was the last time they got shut out in 4 games straight. They tied for being shut out inning-wise. They tied the 2016 Yankees this game because they scored in the 3rd inning. They tied that team. So, like, just, it's ebbs and flows. I mean, it's a, how many times have we said it? You can't win a season and you can't win the World Series in May. But it's when it starts hitting July and August is when people really start paying attention after the All-Star break.
All right, there's something else I read. I wanted to bring it up because, I mean, I didn't know it was going to come on tonight, but I read it the other day, and Ronnie, I don't know if I want to get everybody's take on it. What did you think about Zach Wheeler's announcement that after the 2027 season, he's hanging it up for good?
Probably a spot in Canton for him.
And where?
Or Canton.
Cooperstown?
Cooperstown.
Thank you.
Sorry.
No,
I got football on the mind. Shut the fuck up. Especially,
Don't know
and listen. At least I'm not doing 101 and a 60.
Don't know. Oh, you motherfucker.
Oh, we'll get to him, Christian. We'll get to him.
All right, can we answer my question, please?
He's gonna go in the hall.
Do you think Zach Wheeler deserves to be in the Hall?
Yeah.
Honestly?
Yeah. Especially with the fact that he has 2 more years to possibly win some hardware. Yeah, he will get in the Hall. If he wins one Cy Young, that's a maybe not the first ballot, but it's a lock within 10 years he'll get in.
I have to disagree with you on that. And I'll tell you why. Because of something we said about his former teammate that is currently pitching in Texas.
Okay, what about DeGrom?
I don't think Jake's a Hall of Famer either.
No, because DeGrom's been injured too many times.
And I'm sorry, Jake. Look, would I take him back this year for nothing? Yeah, because we could use him with all our pitching woes that we've had and stuff like that.
I'd rather take it back. I'd rather take it back a guy that's working in Mexico right now for.
Oh, don't bring him up. I'm so
better-
sick and tired. I'm so sick and tired of hearing his fucking name again.
I know Christian
He's
would.
never coming
I know
back.
Christian would. I know Christian would love it.
Can we just say one thing? If it hasn't happened by now, it's not gonna happen. He's not coming back. Nobody is going to sign him. It's not gonna happen.
And he won a massive, and he'll win a massive lawsuit.
Good. Let him have
He actually-
those
he's
giant
already-
lawsuit, but
yeah.
he is not going to get signed by a major league team. It's not going to happen. Now that he's on the opposite side of 30, I know it's definitely not going to happen. You know, it's just not going to happen. It's over and done with him. I never want to hear that name again.
But what? You know, Wheeler only got hurt 1 year, right? He only was out an entire season for 1 year. Like, he's hit over 150 every year except the COVID season. He's a 2-time All-Star. He's a Gold Glover. He hasn't gotten the Cy Young yet. That's the only thing holding him back. He's got as of right now, he's got an ERA of, let me see, total of 11 years, 3.3 ERA out of every year, out of all the years he's played. A 600 win-loss record. 4 complete games, 3 shutouts, which, let's face it, nowadays that doesn't seem like a big deal, but it is.
A little bit.
Strikeouts. What's his K? Hold on, I'm looking right now. Innings pitch. Okay, earned runs. Homer. Strikeouts. Here we go. 1,700 strikeouts, which probably you'll get to in 2 years. He'll probably get to close to 2,000. He's got Hall of Fame numbers. I mean, the only thing I think he's missing, he doesn't have a World Series ring, right? It's the one thing he's missing. That or a Cy Young, which, I mean, he's pitching pretty good this year. But, like, DeGrom, I can understand. Like, DeGrom, I don't know if he's going to ever see that type of light of day. But DeGrom is not... DeGrom's hurt. He gets hurt a lot.
That's unfortunately he's gonna suffer the same fate as David Wright did. David Wright is still on the Hall of Fame ballot, but David Wright is not going to get elected to the Hall of Fame. As much as I would want him to, it's not going to happen. Will he get into the Mets Hall of Fame? Absolutely. In fact, they're going to be doing it, I think, this summer. But as for the Hall of Fame, no. And if DeGrom stayed healthy, would I say he's a Hall of Famer? Absolutely. But not now. Just don't see it. But anyway, I digress.
DeGrom's a toss-up. DeGrom is a toss-up. 2-time Cy Young winner, Rookie of the Year, 4-time All-Star. He has an ERA record. Plus, he's got a chip. He's got a World Series ring,
which he did nothing to earn.
But I'm saying the thing is as much as the Tommy John injuries hurt him, this dude was in the running for MVP 3 years in a row. You may not like it, but there is an argument that he could go in the Hall.
I just pulled up his thing. He's got a career of 90 wins, 59 losses, a career ERA of 2.50, and 1,700 strikeouts.
Okay, you out of 12 years.
Yeah, but he might have played for 12 years, but he pitched for maybe about 10 because he was hurt.
Okay.
Tommy John surgeries will do that to you.
Okay.
And he's also 37 years old. So if
in
the
a
Mets
row,
do try to trade for him, yeah, DeGrom's 37
in a row.
Yeah, shut up with the 37 in a row. But no, it's like they're not going to get the Rangers are not going to ask for an arm and a leg from him because they're not. No team is going to give him. They're going to give him that.
He's already given an arm and a leg. Damn it! Thank you. I'll be here all week.
Try the veal, haha. But no, it's.
I personally, I get it, but we're going to talk around in circles. There's 2 other baseball stories that I want to get to, and then we'll call it. But first, Ryan, Christian, do you have anything to add to this or no?
Nope.
Christian?
What happened?
Did you? Never mind. Moving on.
No, what'd you say? I didn't hear you.
Do you have anything to add about Wheeler and DeGrom being possible Hall of Famers?
No, not really.
Okay. Moving on. Speaking of Texas, we're going to stay in Texas because I have an interesting question for all 3 of you, and I don't really know if this is legal or not. So, this happened, I believe, either last night or 2 nights ago. Kumar was the starting pitcher for Texas.
I'm hearing reverb.
It's Christian's mic, but it's not a big deal.
Wait, what happened?
Your mic's giving off a little reverb.
All right, what about now?
You're good.
All right,
Perfect.
cool.
So he ended up getting cramps. The pitching coach comes out with a shot of pickle juice to prevent cramps. My question is, as for a mound visit, should it be legal for them to be able to give you something for cramps?
It's like bringing him a cup of water. It's the same thing.
No.
Who cares?
No, it's not like bringing a cup of water because pickle juice has the sodium in it to prevent cramps in your legs.
I personally don't even care. If it's a hot, in Texas it gets hot and humid like crazy.
But the thing is, though, is as much as people don't want to say this, and it's kind of funny to think about it, is, well, if you're not getting cramps, then you're not staying hydrated. Well, then isn't that giving you an advantage on the mound?
Not really.
Brian, Christian, your thoughts?
I read about that. It was just I saw the.
Yeah, you saw the headline.
Yeah, I saw the notification. I think I got it on my Bleacher Report, but nah, that's just crazy.
But like, would you consider it like? Should have he have come out of the game for cramps? Because that's an injury technically. Then
Yeah, and then evidently he's not drinking enough water.
clearly
I
he's
hate
getting cramps. But you're doing like I get it. You're giving him a shot of pickle juice in the game. It's not like he's going. It's not like in between innings he's drinking pickle juice. It's during a mound visit.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
It's-
go ahead, Rye.
It's pickle juice. I don't think it's that big of a deal.
Thank you. That's my opinion on it. It's not a big deal.
Can I say it, or am I gonna be reprimanded for it?
I'm honestly, you can say it, but I'm saying it in a way because the reason I think this is because if anyone's had cramps, like your quad or Charlie horses, that shit fucking heals that shit up pretty good and pretty fast. Like, I could see that being conceived as a fucking advantage. Especially if you should be taken out. It's an injury.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, maybe don't nobody care.
Ain't nobody care.
But if you start seeing people do this every day or every time and people are sitting on the sideline drinking pickle juice.
Because it's actually got a lot of electrolytes in it, too.
I understand that, but so does Gatorade.
So, all right, let me ask you this. If they brought him a cup of Gatorade out, would you even think the same thing?
No.
No, not Gatorade, but you don't ever see. But do you ever see them getting fluids when they're on the mound like that? That's the first time I've ever seen them get something to drink like that out on the mound.
I've seen weirder stuff go on. I've seen.
Well, I mean, we've
players
heard stories about bullpens.
it has happened. It's just you know what it is. Just because of who it is and what he drank, that's why everybody's making a big deal about it.
No, it has nothing to do with who he is. If this was Jacob deGrom or I mean, even Garrett Cole, I wouldn't. It would be the same fucking thing. It's the fact that he's drinking something when it's considered an injury. When a cramp is considered an injury for most sports. And that's what I'm getting at. And he stayed in the game for a good amount of time. It wasn't like he took the shot of pickle juice and they pulled him off. No, he stayed in for like 3 more innings. I just wanted to ask that question. I saw it. It was interesting. I wanted to bring it up.
No problem.
Last quick hit for baseball. I have to go into the College World Series. Did you guys watch any of this? Have you guys watched any of the the Omaha stuff lately, or no?
I didn't even know it was still going on, to be honest with you.
Okay. Ryan, have you?
Nope.
All right. So Arkansas's pitcher Gage Wood. This kid flat out had one of the best pitching outings I've ever seen, ever. Hold on, I just want to see something. Okay, does not look like he's related to... Okay, so Gage Wood, Arkansas pitcher, is the 3rd pitcher in College World Series history to throw a no-hitter with 19 strikeouts. Now, the last time a no-hitter has ever been thrown in the College World Series was 1960.
By who? Do you happen to have a name?
No, I don't. because they didn't even put it there. Let me see if I can pull it up. Jim Wixton. Oh, from Oklahoma State.
Obviously, never made a name in the majors.
No, I've never heard of this guy before. See if he even made the majors. He was on the Red Sox in '67. And he retired '69. Okay. Yeah. I mean, that's freaking nuts that he threw a no. That it hasn't happened since 1960. But I think the weird thing was 19 strikeouts. This kid was not even a first round pick. He bumped his draft status to a first round draft pick. So they have him going in the first round now. Now, is he Paul Skeens? No, but I mean that shit. That like the replay. Go and watch it. It's on ESPN. Filthy slider, freaking dotting fastballs at 96. Just fanning Murray State. And, yeah, Arkansas right now is losing to LSU, and if they lose, they're out of the College World Series. Quick. That's really it for the news for baseball. I mean, quick hit. We've talked about this in the past. Wander Franco trial resumes on Monday. So, probably going to go to jail for 30 years.
Yeah,
Right.
send him to pound him in the ass prison. That's where he deserves to be.
Bend over you.
Him and Drake can be cellmates.
No, him and Diddy could be cellmates. Just
No.
bring the oil.
For what Juan Franco did? No. Drake can be his roommate, his cellmate.
Yep.
And there's no allege. It's for what he did.
I could start a bonfire with his rookie card because that's all they're worth is kindling for fires.
Christian, you think he's going to get 30 years?
Who? Wander Franco?
Yep.
Now, dude, don't say that. There are people out there. There are people out there that collect shit from criminals. Like, there's a whole sect of
I mean, Ryan, you made a plaque of a Ryback.
That's actually gone now. I got rid of it.
Did you really?
Yeah, it's gone. I gave it to somebody.
But no,
that hurts my feelings.
I mean, look at so how much? Oh God, no, was it Mark Jackson? Christian, you would know.
Mark Jackson is the card that had the
Yes.
Melendez brothers
Yeah.
in it.
Yep.
It was Mark Jackson of the Knicks.
Yep.
They were front row for a Knicks game, and they were in the front row, and they took a picture of Mark Jackson, and the card's worth about $15. It's not worth much.
Doesn't matter though. That's a photo in time of history. People might pay only $15 for the card, but a lot of people want that card.
There was a point in time when the Mendez brother card was highly sought after and extremely collectible.
The only reason it was brought back into thing is because they tried to get parole.
I'll be back, guys.
All right.
let me just say this: if their story's true, they should.
Yeah, I mean,
If the story's true, they should, because that wasn't murder. That was self-defense.
if what they're saying is true.
And that's the big if.
Yeah. But that's really it for baseball news. John, I was going to say, John, I'll give you an out if you want to bounce.
Well, thank you. You know, it's like I might be back in future episodes. Thanks for letting me come back for a little bit. So, guys, have a good rest of the show, and I'll be in touch with you guys off air sometime.
Yep. See you later.
Later.
All right, man.
Later.
All right. So we have 2 bits of news. Ryan will find one of this interesting. Christian, you'll find the other one interesting that just broke 4 hours ago.
Okay.
Do you want the baseball football news first, or do you want the NBA news first?
Yeah. Surprise me.
All right, we'll go with Ryan because I don't think Ryan saw this. Hey, Ryan.
Yeah.
Your governor in Missouri just approved the stadium aid fund for both the Rockies and the Chiefs. Or not the Rockies, the Royals and the Chiefs.
Yeah, I know. For some fucking reason, those cocksuckers deserve a new fucking stadium.
Well, it never said they were getting a new stadium. It looks like they're going to upgrade. At least Kansas City, the Royals, are going to upgrade their stadium. I don't know what they're going to do with Arrowhead.
They don't know what they're going to fucking do with Arrowhead.
That's very true. Because, I mean, KC, the Royals stadium is not that old, isn't it? It's not that old. But they gave, it looks like it is a $2 billion, or no, here we go. Last year, they asked for tax that would have a help financial aid of $800 million for renovations of Arrowhead Stadium and a $2 billion district for the Royals in downtown KC. So it looks like they want to renovate. It's the opposite. They want to renovate Arrowhead and build a new stadium for the Royals. But that makes no sense because the Royals, that's probably one of the nicest stadiums in major leagues.
I heard it's not that great.
Really? Ryan, I mean, Ryan would know probably better than us.
I was about to say, man, Kaufman's nice enough that they host that celebrity charity softball tournament every year.
Yeah, because one of my friends went and he said he wasn't all that impressed. But then again, he don't know shit. So.
Let me ask you this, right? Did any of those stadiums, do you think any of those stadiums got damaged due to the tornado?
No.
Not bad. You don't think there was barely, you think there was just barely any damage or not, like, or none?
No damage.
No damage? Okay. That's the only other reason I can think them making something new in KC. At least Arrowhead, they're saying we're going to keep the stadium as is and just renovate it. So that's at least nice.
Yeah.
Because Arrowhead's that old school, like, hey, it's just a bunch of bricks. It's just bricks and concrete. So we'll see. We'll see what happens because that's a big little bit of news because we talked about that, at the beginning of the year? That they wanted to do that? And then the NBA news. Jeannie Buss has decided to sell the majority stakes of the Lakers to the Dodgers owners.
Who cares?
Reported value of $10 billion.
That's crazy.
No, you know what's funny though, Christian? You say that, but you know who is partial owner of the Dodgers?
Magic.
And guess who's probably taking over as the CEO, as the head of the Lakers?
Oh, so you think he's gonna go back? 'Cause
Oh.
remember, he left.
Yeah, but now he would be running the show. Because they sold it to the stakes of the Dodgers owners. Well, if Magic wants to take over, they ain't going to stop Magic from taking over.
No. That'd be a futile gesture.
So, Magic, yeah, I could see Magic going back and being the head. Yeah. Oh, I could totally see Magic going back. Who else was part of that? Was it Jeter? No, Jeter wasn't part of that. But, like, even then, like, Magic being part of that is a big freaking thing. What the hell? I apologize. I don't know why it just canceled. Okay, I don't know why that just canceled.
I have no idea what happened.
No, I just like that's why I said I'm calling you back. Where are you, Christian?
Like, it said the meeting ended.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I didn't end the meeting. I don't know what happened. It kicked us. Were we too edgy?
Too edgy for Microsoft?
I mean that's a possibility. But no, what's your thoughts on that? Like with Magic and the Bus family selling.
I'm a Christian, man. Magic wants to take over. Nobody's going to stop it. Nobody's going to be able to stop it.
Yeah, I mean, he's not. Let's face it. Magic running the Dodgers makes no sense. Magic running the Lakers, that makes perfect sense. But oh Christ. Started a group meeting. Yep. All right, there you are.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what happened. Microsoft thought we were too edgy.
Mm-hmm.
So, what's your final thoughts on the whole? Like, if Magic does come back.
I mean, you know, the one thing I respect about Magic Johnson is he goes where the money is. You see what he's done with the Dodgers. You see what he's done with the Commanders. But you know,
Yeah, that's
Magic,
right. He is the holder of the with the yeah. I forgot about that.
Listen, Magic to me is the blueprint on life after sports.
Yeah.
I mean, he's been a phenomenal businessman. I think from a broadcasting standpoint, it's Michael Strahan and maybe Nate Burleson now. Like Nate Burleson has kind of traveled in the Michael Strahan footsteps, but Strahan always had a personality for the media.
Right.
Um, same with Nate Burleson. But Magic, like man, Magic is Magic is I mean he's the standard for life after sports.
Yeah.
I'm curious to see what'll happen now with this.
All right. And that's really it for the news. But now we can dive. The only other news that we really have, and we'll go into, and we'll start focusing into the college football scene, because we're officially in the season of taking a look at and uncovering the season. We have one more realignment coming, I think. And I think that this will be the final one. We will get the Pac-12 back. And that's it. Like, no more realignments. You figure out where you're at, and then you make a 16 team college football playoff, and you're done. Like, we figured that out. We figured that out. And that's it. No, there shouldn't be any more moving. Because the way the game is played now, I'm sorry, but this is getting ridiculous. I don't want to see Texas in the SEC. Or Oklahoma, or even that, I shouldn't say Texas. I don't want to see Oklahoma. I don't want to see Oregon in the Big Ten. Because, I'm sorry, Big Ten sports really screams Eugene, Oregon. Or Washington. Like, that's like the joke that everyone's like, oh yeah, Rutgers really screams Big Ten football when we're going out to Northwestern and Chicago. Like, no, if you want to say that, Notre Dame should be in the Big Ten. And I think that's what happens too.
I agree with you on that. I think Notre Dame should be in the Big Ten.
And I think that's what happens with this realignment on top of that. I say this because Texas State made a move to get out of the Sun Belt and go to the Pac-12. I'm sorry. What's the Pacific Northwest about Texas State? Like, oh yeah, when I think Pac-12 after dark, I really think Texas State. Like, okay, maybe if you want to call them the Mountain West, but no, you shouldn't be the Pac-12. We're going to get, like I said, we're going to get one more realignment where everybody's in their own division. There's no mid-majors anymore. Everyone's going to be a major conference. You win your conference, you get in the fucking playoff, and then you go, and then the committee picks the rest. Oh, well, the MAC doesn't deserve to be in there. The conference, bullshit. You want a legit fucking playoff where nobody can bitch that they got robbed out of a spot. Every conference champion needs to be there. Because, let's face it, we say this, but then everyone's like, oh, well, no mid-major can beat one of the top teams. Really? Let's go talk to Northern Illinois last year when they beat Notre Dame. Let's go talk to Marshall when they beat Notre Dame 2 years ago. You still have to play 4 quarters. Doesn't mean shit. I think we get Oregon. I think Rutgers goes back. I think Rutgers goes to the ACC. Because let's face it, the ACC is just going to turn back into the fucking Big East. And we start getting we start getting shit back. And everything gets hammered home because now the money's there. That's the thing that no one wants to talk about. Now everything's going to be evenly distributed by conference. So what's the big deal? Christian? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, look, I think realignment, it's one of the worst things to happen to college sports, in my opinion.
I think we get one more, and it goes pretty much back to what it used to be, how college football used to look like.
Yeah.
And then that's it. Like, I don't see why that's not a big deal where you can't have Syracuse, Rutgers, and Temple and Duke and Miami and like the old Big East. The Big East we grew up with. And the SEC, I'm sorry, as much as I love the SEC, Texas and Oklahoma should not be in the SEC. The only reason they're there is because of fucking money.
Oh, of course.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Like, can we get Bedlam back? Because of money, because of the conferences wanting money, we've lost some of the best traditions in college football.
Exactly.
We've lost Bedlam. I mean, we're lucky that we still have the Apple Cup. We barely have the Civil War. And what's your opinion on the fact that good old-fashioned hate is going to be played in Atlanta this year?
I like it. You know, I think it brings a little more notoriety to the rivalry. I mean, last year they played in an instant classic.
Yep.
8 overtimes. And, you know, I think both programs looked at that and said, hey, we deserve to be at a bigger stage. So it's going to be played at Mercedes-Benz, right?
Yep. And then the next year, the cocktail party is going to get played in Jameis Stadium. Going to be played in Tampa.
Oh, interesting.
Well, because Jacksonville's remodeling their stadium.
That's right. No, I like the fact that it's in Georgia. I mean, why not? I mean, in Atlanta, why not? Why not at all? I think it puts more of a spotlight on Georgia Tech. I mean, everyone knows Georgia. Like, Georgia Tech comes into this year with some lofty expectations. You know, a lot of people are predicting them to win a share of the ACC.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. Then we'll get to the ACC when we get to them because I have some. That's definitely some big news coming around. Roy, what's your thoughts on the whole realignment? And we talked about the Georgia game last week or 2 weeks ago.
I mean, it's going to take some getting used to, but that's about it.
But I should say this. If we're getting one more realignment and everything goes back to normal, is that a good thing for college football?
Yeah. I'd say so.
Because you bring back the rivalries. You get rivalries that you haven't seen in 20 years. Like, I'm sorry, Rutgers. I'll just use it because I'm a fucking Rutgers fan. Rutgers Syracuse or Rutgers Temple was a rivalry 30 years ago. Like, we could actually get a legit rivalry of Florida State and Miami. Like, that, as much as that's been, it's an ACC rivalry. It started in the Big Ten, or it started Big Ten. It started in the Big East,
Right.
and like I said, Notre Dame should be in the Big Ten. They should be in a conference. Because Notre Dame, Michigan is such a great rivalry that nobody cares. Because no one's ever watched. Because no one's watched it. I mean, Christian, you remember those games. The Notre Dame, Michigan.
Yeah.
Those are some classics.
Yeah, it's one of the more underappreciated rivalries I feel in the sport. I remember the first time I had a chance to preview it. I want to say it was 2018. And close game, came down to the fourth quarter, and I think I previewed it again the last time they played, which was in Ann Arbor at the Big House. I want to say 2019, and Michigan beat them. Yeah, we should be seeing a matchup like that maybe every other year.
Yeah.
Or they should do home and home.
Yes, I agree with that.
But go blue.
Damn right. Still go beat Ohio State. But like I said at the beginning of the year, you know what? Before we get into Conference USA, because we're probably going to run through that real quick, let's talk about the idiots in Cleveland for the NFL.
Okay.
Shedeur Sanders got cited for driving 101 miles an hour in a 60-mile-an-hour limit.
So he got hooked up because anything over 20 miles an hour is considered felony speeding and you are arrested immediately.
Sanders must either now pay, and this is from Jason Miller, Getty Image Sports on the Score. Sanders must now either pay $250 fine for fourth-degree misdemeanor or fight the ticket July 3rd in the court. Just pay the fucking fine.
I hope he's dumb enough to fight it.
I really do too, because he'll lose everything. The cop saw Sanders, and the cop saw your last name and gave you a break.
That's it.
The question is... Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
Trial. The judge will be like, yeah, I fucking hated your dad when he played.
So, the big thing about this, and then, Christian, I'll get your opinion on it. What do the Browns do? Because clearly, they drafted him in the 5th round. Now, what are they doing? He's a 5th-round draft pick to, all right, let's cut him. What are you losing? You're losing nothing.
Nothing at all.
Talk to him.
But what? Okay. What is your opinion? What is your thoughts on this? Because let's face it, 41 over the speed limit in a Dodge truck is like driving a fucking missile. He's lucky that a cop got him.
Yeah.
And
I definitely agree with you.
And I understand he's an adult, but Dion didn't teach you this? Dion didn't teach you to not be stupid? We all got to admit, as much as Dion was flashy, Dion wasn't this stupid.
Nah, he wasn't.
So, Yeah. So, yeah, hey, I just pay the fine, hope the Browns don't cut your ass, and try to make the roster. That's the best thing I can tell you. You in the same? We all in the same boat with that one?
I agree.
Ryan, I know you want him to fight it because he's an idiot.
What?
I know you want him to fight it just because you want to see him fuck up like that.
Look, man, it shouldn't fucking matter who his daddy is.
No, I agree with that. He got a break. He got a lifeline. Use it, move forward, and be better. You're 23 years old. You're an adult, but let's face it, you're a fucking kid still. But at the same time, Dion should have fucking taught you better, because that's not something Dion really would do. Well, especially not now. Physically can't. Gets good parking, though. Did I say that out loud? I'm sorry. No, I'm not. High stepping your way into the handicap spot.
Right.
I'll say this, though. If Shador does do very well, and makes it, the minute he starts throwing up the Rolex thing, the Rolex sign like he would do in Colorado, the media's going to torch him. Because of this. Stephen A. Smith will have a field day with him because of this. And I honest to God can't wait. But, alright, let's dive into our preview for the beginning of the year. We open up with Conference USA. We actually have 2 new teams that have joined the college football playoff.
I'm gonna be on for a little bit of this because I gotta be up early.
Well, we'll be quick. Really, this should, honest to God, I don't have a lot to this. This should honestly take about 10-15 minutes. Because there's not really a lot to talk about. Because the bottom of this is terrible. It's a three-team race. So anyway, the 2 new teams in here are the Delaware Blue Hens, or the Delaware Flaccos, and Missouri State. Don't know anything about Missouri State. Barely know anything about Delaware.
Mm-hmm.
Joanna knows more about Delaware, but we'll get to her later. No real new coaches. I mean, no new coaches of, what's it called? Of extent. Like, Dave Yost is the only new coach that people would probably know, and he's New Mexico State's coach. Jacksonville State's got a new coach because Rich Rod is now back in West Virginia. Yeah, and then we will move on. So we'll open up, like I said, with the Delaware Blue Hens. Came out of the FCS. No, they were 9-2 out of the FCS, but they played nobody of value for the most part. This year, their non-conference is Colorado, Delaware State, and UConn, and Wake Forest. Their over-under is 4.5. I have them going over. They're 12-1 to win the conference. I have them winning 5 games. I
have them going over as well. Who is this again?
Delaware.
Yeah.
Ryan?
Delaware. Yeah.
Over or under? Okay. All right. Next, we'll just You know what? I won't even give the because there's not really a lot to these. I'll just go through this. All right, Liberty is your favorites to win the entire thing. Their over-under right now is 9.5. They really don't have a tough non-conference. I have this team winning 10 games and moving into the conference title game. So I have them going over because their over-under is 9.5. They're plus 130 to win the conference. Christian?
Under.
What do you have them winning? 9?
Yeah, I can see that.
Okay.
With a lot of these conferences, you just have to expect the unexpected. The teams who are normally like the favorites to win, they kind of underachieve at times.
Okay.
And I'm not saying that's going to be the case.
No, but I mean they won it all last year, so their big thing is they need to fight. If they're usually the team that has a chance to get the bid for the college football playoff.
Mm-hmm.
And they got smoked by the Ducks last year. Or 2 years ago. But I don't even know where they were last year. But, Ryan, over under 9.5. Do they win 10 or do they not?
No.
All right, so under. I mean, they only have to lose 2 games. And that's really what it is. Western Kentucky. Oh, God, they have an easy schedule. Their over-under is 7.5. Their non-conference is Eastern Kentucky, Toledo. Oh, no, sorry. North Alabama, Nevada, and at LSU. That's a loss. Over-under is 7.5. I have them winning 9 games. So I have them going over.
See that? I'll agree with you.
Okay, Ryan?
I'll agree with you. And Ronnie, I'm going to actually head out now, man.
All right.
All right.
So in the group chat, I put everything that needs to be there. Just type it in there, and I'm just going to log everything. So just type in or text it to me.
All right.
All right?
All right, Ryan, I'll talk to you.
All right, brother.
All right, buddy. All
All
right.
right. Ryan, over under 7.5.
Who is this?
Western Kentucky. The Hilltoppers.
Go under.
Okay, so what, you got them winning like, what, 7?
Yeah.
All right, Rich Rod's former team, the Jacksonville State Gamecocks. Their non-conference, UCF, Georgia Southern, Murray State, as well as Southern Miss. Their over-under is 6.5. The only reason this is 6.5 is because it is a new coach. They still return a lot of the same teams. They win 8 games. I have them going over. What do you got? What do you got? Is it Jacksonville State? They're over under 6.5.
I'm going over.
Okay. UTEP. The Miners their over under is 5.5. Let me see real quick. Me and you can burn through these quicker when I just do this. Utah State, Tennessee Martin, Texas, and ULM and Louisiana of Monroe. UTEP, their over-under is 5.5. I have them winning exactly 5 games. They go under.
Let's go over.
Okay. So you got them going bowling.
Yep.
Okay. All right. Louisiana Tech. Their over-under is 5.5. They're 11-1 to win the whole thing. Southeast Louisiana, LSU, Southern Miss, and Washington State are their non-conference. I have them going over by a half a game. I have them going bowling. 6 for Louisiana Tech.
I'm with you.
Okay. Sam Houston. Over under is 4.5. I'm not even going to read off what they have. We'll be talking about them one time this year because they're going to the island. They have UNLV. They play Texas. And they play Oregon State. This team is going to get smoked ridiculously. They only win 3 games. I have them going under, and yet they're the 4th favorite to win the Conference USA.
All right.
So I have them going under 4.5. What do you have? What do you got?
Under.
Yeah. Okay. Next is Middle Tennessee. The Blue Raiders play Austin Prairie. They're at Wisconsin, at Nevada, and home against Marshall are their non-conferences. 5.5 is their over-under. They are 16-1 to get there. This coach will be fired at the end of the year because they will only win another 3 games. Under 3 wins.
Under, yeah.
All right, Florida, FIU, Florida International, Bethune-Cookman at Penn State, FAU, and UConn are their non-conferences. They are 5.5 is their over-under. They are 16-1 to win the conference. Yeah, that ain't happening. They are hard under with only 4 wins.
Good.
What do you got?
Who is it?
FIU.
Under.
All right, and this team, poor Missouri State, poor Missouri State Bears. They're coming out. They're the new team. They're another new team coming out of the FCS. They finished 8-4 last year. Did not beat anybody special. Coming into this year, they're playing USC, Marshall, Tennessee Martin, and SMU. This team is going to get fucking whacked. I feel so bad for welcome to the college football playoffs, boys. You only gonna win 2 games. Under.
Right.
You agree with me on that, or do you think they're gonna win 5 games? Because I don't.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. New Mexico State. Over under 4.5. Boy, Diego Pavia ain't there anymore. They got Bryant, Tulsa, New Mexico, and Tennessee. Whoo! This team is going to get smoked. They will lose this by the hook. I have them going under at 4 wins. They are 22-1 to win the conference. Yeah, keep your money locked away because that ain't happening. Under 4.
Under.
Okay. And finally, Kennesaw State, a team that didn't win. I don't think they won any games last year. They went 0-4, I believe. I want to actually clear. I want that to not go fact. I want to see. Where are you? There you are. Last year, they won 2 games last year. They luckily beat Liberty and they beat FIU. They have a harder schedule this year. Their over-under's 3.5. They only won 2 games last year. That is laughable. They still lose and they still go under and they only win 3 games. What do you got?
Under.
Under? All right. And then finally, the title game for myself. I have the Jacksonville State. Actually, I got to change that because that actually changed. So I have Liberty versus Western Kentucky in the conference title game, and I have the Hilltoppers winning the whole thing. And my long shot, which I'm going to start doing the entire thing, long shot, which is an 8-1 or higher to win the whole thing. I'm taking Delaware to, I already have them going over, but I'm going to have them shock people because I have them at 12-1 right now to win the conference. So there will be, once they get officially on the board, there will be a small bet going in on Delaware.
Okay.
Who do you have as your title game?
I didn't pick one.
Okay. Well, looking at what you have right now, you're probably going to be in the same boat. You might have you have over Jacksonville. So you have Jacksonville State, and you're probably having Liberty thrown in there because if they're 9 within that range.
Right.
And yeah, you have Delaware or Louisiana Tech probably going in, which is like a 12-1, 11-1 as a long shot. So you know what? We'll just write this down. Liberty versus Jack State, and then Delaware / Louisiana Tech. Because you couldn't really figure it out, so I'm like, fuck it, let's just see. We're going to keep our eyes on this. I'm actually going to keep pretty much, not score, but I'm going to try to keep some kind of score with this. Because we always like to have some competition.
Yeah.
The NFL, we will definitely be doing it again. We still have to get John to pay up on his bet from 2 years ago because we didn't do it last year. We're going to do it again this year, and we're going to have some fun. And if anyone has any ideas besides jerseys that they want us to do, feel free to leave me a message on Twitter at @FNRonnie. And if you like what you heard, you can follow us on all social media accounts. Unless there's anything else you want to add, Ryan, or should we take it home? On Twitter at @FNRonnie for myself. And join us on all social media accounts under the Nerdport Network. Join us back here next week as we dive back into the good, the bad, and the what the fuck was that in the wide world of sports and sports betting. We will be bringing some fun things back. Maybe we'll do a dumpster fire here and there where we can talk wrestling as well as movies, because there's a lot of news coming out in the world of video games and news and movies. Like the world of Harry Potter being complete shit. Not because of J.K. Rowling, because of Warner Brothers.
Yeah, fucking brothers.
Black Snape. But cool news, maybe I'll just add this real quick, though. Did you see who's playing Lucius Malfoy on Broadway?
Oh, yes, I did, actually.
Yeah, right?
Old Draco himself.
Yep, Draco is playing his father. And it's scary how much they look exactly the fucking same when he's grown up. With all the makeup. Like, you would have never guessed. It's oh my God. Let him cook there. God forbid. I don't want to see him do anything in another version of Planet of the Apes.
Huh.
That was terrible. That fucking movie was so bad. How it spawned off and got like 8 different sequels.
I mean, the original one's fucking fantastic.
Oh, the original. I'm also talking about like the second reboot, not the Marky Mark one. The Charleston Heston one's the best.
Right.
What's the other one? It was James Franco? I believe that's what it was, right? The James Franco one?
Probably.
Planet of the Apes 2001 was the bad one. 2001 was the Mark Wahlberg one. We don't talk about that. Oh, that was so bad. Rise of the Planet of the Apes. That's it.
That's the one.
And that's, yeah, James Franco, John Lithgow's in that, Tom Felton, who ended up having why they gave him the line, and listen, if you know the line and you know of if you've ever seen Planet of the Apes, the line was given to him.
Damn dirty ape.
Yeah, why they had to even do that. Like, I get it, yeah, it's a throwback to Heston and shit like that, but like, it kind of felt forced.
Oh, it's the only reason.
Yeah. Like, hey, remember this? Listen, there's only one person that had Andy Serkis. Did all the mocap. And it got 2 sequels out of that. Dawn and then War. But it is what it is. But yes, like I said, we're going to bring back the Dumpster Fire. We're going to bring back some other stuff. We're going to be streaming a decent amount. Ryan, I know you've been streaming. I got to be bringing back. I have the Wheel of Destiny behind me now. I should actually call it the Wheel of Morality, because God forbid.
Yeah, if you guys see me streaming, I'll either be streaming Starship Troopers or Enlisted.
Yes, and I will be jumping first on and finishing Doom 1. And let's just say I have a list of 8 games on here already that couple I haven't played, couple retro, and maybe 2 or 3 that are going to take like 4 hours to do. But I do have a specialty one. If we raise enough money, I have to swallow my pride and do 4 of some of the worst games I own. And one of them, maybe not worst game, but Ryan, you already know one of them. And I have to play it on the fucking Sega Genesis.
Oh, yeah, that's a fun game.
Yeah, fuck the goddamn monkeys. Well, I just can't wait to be king with that one. Fuck it. Anyway, if you like what you heard, please tell your friends. If you didn't like what you hear,
Well, fuck your own face.
tell your enemies. But until then, always remind them there's always a teachable moment. And Bobby Bonilla be still getting paid. And if you don't believe us, then fuck it. That's just a fact of life.